sit in front.
हे काढून असतात निखिल प्लीज.
नाही राहू दे.
निखिल काढून धर ना प्लीज. हां
मी काढतो. मागे ठेवतो.
थँक्यू प्रभू. नाही एवढं बसा निखिल ह्या लोटसवरच ठेव. प्रभूंचं नाव काय? येस या थँक्यू. हरे कृष्णा. हे ठेवून दे ना. हां सोड आता. हरे कृष्णा. Thank you so much for coming today. And Shyam Prabhu is always so, his speech is so attractive that, you know, I was like almost forgot that I have to give a class when he was talking to children. Shyam Prabhu ki jai. So he's really empowered soul. By his speech, he attracts so many souls. So, yeah, definitely. That's nectar there. So today we'll talk about chapter 17, verse 28. So before that, we'll do a small kirtan and prayers. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming. I don't know how to. Okay. Hare Krishna. जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरा वनचारी यमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Shri Radhe Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Hare Krishna Srila Prabhupada ki Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhrascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada ki. Okay, so today we are looking at chapter 17, verse 28, which is the last verse of chapter 17, and then we enter into the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is chapter 18. So let's look at the Sanskrit, and then we'll see what we can discuss today. Okay, so let's look at Sanskrit. Ashraddhaya hutam dattam tapastaptam kritam chayat asad iti uchchate partha nacha tat pretya o no iha. Word to word translation. Ashraddhaya, without faith. Hutam, offered in sacrifice. Dattam, given. Tapa, penance. Taptam, executed. Kritam, performed. Cha, also. Yat, that which. Asat, false. Iti, thus. Uchyate, is said to be. Partha, O son of Pritha, na, never, cha, also, tat, that, pretya, after death, nayu, nor, iha, in this life. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Anything done as sacrifice, charity or penance without faith in the Supreme, O son of Pritha, is impermanent. It is called asat and is useless both in this and in next life. So this is very direct verse. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna sometimes talks like a friend. He is very kind. His words are pleasing. Sometimes he is direct like this verse. So he doesn't want to give any flattering language. He is very straight to the point that anything which is done which does not involve faith in Krishna, that is useless or impermanent, he says. So let's see how we can understand it. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this particular chapter, chapter 17, it's the title of the chapter is Divisions of Faith. So in this chapter, Krishna explains about different types of faith and divisions of faith. But how did we landed over here on chapter 17? So let's do a little bit of background before we come in 17. So in chapter 16, chapter 16 says divine and demoniac natures. So in this chapter, Krishna explains what are the characteristics of divine and characteristics of demoniac. So the basic explanation which Krishna gives is, those who have faith in scriptures are divine, and those who do not have faith in scriptures are demoniac. So at the end, so this is how chapter 16 ends. So the start of the chapter 17, Arjun has a doubt, he has a question. So he asks, what about them, those who have some faith, but not in scriptures, in something else? What about them? How do we understand their, so what about their faith? And that's how then Krishna starts talking about answering to this particular question from verse 2 onwards in this particular chapter, chapter 17. Yeah. So now we will look at the little bit of summary of chapter 17, and then we will go into the verse which we are going to discuss today. So just so I know, how many of you have Bhagavad Gita at home? Yeah. And how many of you read Bhagavad Gita regularly? Sometimes? Okay, that's nice. Thank you. Okay, so just so we understand where we are. You know, when we want to go somewhere and we put the map on, what does it say? It asks you to put the location on first, isn't it? Where you are. So it wants to locate you. And then you can put the destination, and then it will tell you how you can go where you want to go. So let's locate ourselves first, and then we can see how we can go to the destination, which is Krishna. Yeah. So Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. Yes. And in these 18 chapters, there are 3 divisions. So 6, 6, and 6. Yeah. You can imagine this as a sandwich. So there is a bread, 6 chapters at the top. 6 chapters at the bottom, another bread, and then there is filling, which is the interesting part, which is Bhakti Yoga, the center 6 chapters. So the first 6 chapters, it is called Yoga of Success or Karma Yoga. How do you execute yourself in this world? How do you do your duty? So that's first 6 chapters, yeah, Karma Yoga, Yoga of Success. And the last 6 chapters is Yoga of Wisdom, which is where we are, 17th chapter. So Yoga of Wisdom is Jnana Yoga. And the center is Bhakti Yoga or Yoga of Love, so which is the filling of the sandwich, which is the most important part. So that's how Bhagavad Gita, so just to understand where we are exactly. So Krishna has spoken about how do you live in the first 6 chapters. Then Krishna speaks about himself. In the middle 6 chapters, he talks about who he is and how do you come closer to him in the middle 6. And in the last 6 chapters, he's talking about what is going around us, the material nature, the modes of material nature which act on us, and how do we then operate in this material nature, and how the actions and karma is created. So that's the last 6 chapters where we are. And this particular chapter 17, it talks about division of faith. And I explain how we came here. We came in this chapter. So we started with demoniac and divine nature. So that Krishna explains in 16. And then at the last, Arjun asks, okay, what about those who are on the fence? Nor here, not there. What about them? So now Krishna is trying to explain that. So Krishna starts speaking from verse 2 in chapter number 17. Okay, so Krishna explains that the one who does not have faith in scriptures so he is in the middle. So he has some faith here and there, but not on the scriptures. So how does he? What about his faith? So his faith is based on modes of material nature. That's what Krishna is explaining. So modes of material nature is also explained in chapter number 14, where Krishna goes into detail of what these modes are. So we have 3 modes. We have goodness, passion, and ignorance, which is sattva, rajas, and tamas. So in this he is explaining that the faith itself, the way the people worship, those who are not dependent on scriptures, is in 3 modes. So the one who is in mode of goodness, they would worship demigods, which is Devi and Devatas. The one who is in mode of passion, they would worship demons. And then the one who is in mode of ignorance, they would worship ghosts and spirits. So that's how Krishna is explaining here in around verse 17. Then he goes ahead and explains how if anyone is doing charity or any austerity or any sacrifice which is not recommended as per the scriptures, it is waste of time. Krishna explains that in around verse 6 or 7 of this chapter. So he's explaining how by doing this, which is not recommended as per the scriptures, he's actually torturing himself as well as the super soul which is sitting within him. So Krishna explains that. And then further, he goes and explains about the food we eat. So he explains that the food is also in 3 types. So the one who is in mode of goodness, that person likes food which is in mode of goodness. And how is the food which is in mode of goodness? That food increases one's lifespan. That food purifies oneself. It gives happiness, satisfaction, and strength within. So that's how food in mode of goodness is. Then the next is food in mode of passion or rajas. So such food which is in mode of passion gives one's distress, misery, and disease. And how is such food? Such food is too bitter, too salty, too hot, and burning. So here is something who likes spicy food. So that's mode of passion, which gives one distress, misery, and disease. So maybe you can, tick mark that if you are somebody who likes spicy food. And then the last is mode of ignorance. So Krishna explains here that the one who is in mode of ignorance likes to eat the food which is in mode of ignorance. And how is it? It is decomposed, it is tasteless, and it is putrid, and it pulls one in the darker places. So that food takes you to the place of darkness. So that is food in mode of ignorance. And how do we understand it? The stale food, which is normally one day before. In fact, in one of the verse, Krishna also says that the food should be eaten within the 3 hours of it going through the heat treatment. So when we cook food, after that, for the first 3 hours, it should be consumed. It should become part of your system. After that, it starts degrading. It starts going towards tamas, which is mode of ignorance. And such food shouldn't be consumed. And then further, so he spoke about what? Faith in 3 modes. Then he spoke about food in 3 modes. And then now he's talking about sacrifice. So he's saying the one who is in mode of goodness would do sacrifice without any expectations. He would do sacrifice as matter of duty. The one who is in mode of passion would do sacrifice with some intention. You see, you would give 50 pounds to Gokulananda and then you would expect, let my salary increase by 50%. Yeah. Think that what if Krishna thinks that, okay, ye yatha mam prapadyante. So whatever you give, let your salary increase by 50 pounds. for an year, you will be like, oh my God, that is too much. But that's what we expect, isn't it? We do little and we want Krishna to reciprocate much more than that. So that's passion. That's sacrifice in mode of passion. Then there is a sacrifice in mode of, and the mode of passion also, there is a feeling of pride, that when we do something as a sacrifice, or we sacrifice something, then there is an inner pride which we are satisfying actually. It's not for the Lord, it is actually for ourselves. So that is also a mode of passion. And then in verse 13, Krishna talks about sacrifice in mode of ignorance, so which is done without any thought process, without any thinking. So such, without any guidance by gurus or by scriptures, such sacrifice is in mode of ignorance. And then Krishna further, in the middle of the chapter, starts talking about sacrifice in, austerities. So austerities, and which is penance, in body, speech and mind. So Krishna is saying here that the austerity of the body, so what the mode of goodness means, that one observes cleanliness, there is simplicity, celibacy, non-violence, and the one who respects others. So these are the qualities of one who is performing austerities in mode of goodness for the body. For the speech, then he explains one is truthful, one is pleasing, he doesn't agitate anyone else. So Kesha Swami gives an example here of Socrates, where this person, he came to Socrates and he's like, you know what, I really, really want to tell you something. So Socrates was like, okay, first, before you tell me anything, let me ask you a few questions. And then he's like, whatever you are going to tell me, is it truth? And then this person thinks, I'm not quite sure whether it is true or no. Maybe not. Okay. Then Socrates asks the second question. That which you are going to tell me, is it nice? Is it something nice? And then he thinks again, no, not really. It's not very nice. And then the third question he asks, that thing which you are going to tell me, is that beneficial for me or for you? And then he thinks again, he's like, not really. Okay, then you can go and tell this to somebody else. So that's that. I don't know from where Socrates picked it up, but maybe from Bhagavad Gita or somewhere else, or Krishna revealed it in his heart, because Krishna sits in everyone's heart as super soul. So the speech in mode of goodness is when our words do not agitate somebody else's heart. And then austerity in the mode of goodness in mind is where you have self-control, where your mind is going through a purificatory process, and then there is gravity as well. So anything which is done, any austerity which is done for Lord and nothing else. So there is no other thought in our heart apart from that I want to do this for the Lord. So this is for the higher purpose and not for me, not for my selfish gain. And or not to gain respect or pride out of that action, because such action is unstable or impermanent, because we might do it for some time until the energy lasts, until we have enthusiasm, and we will stop doing it. But something which we do for Lord, that we never stop doing it, because the energy is going. There is a sattvic energy behind it which pushes us, which has a flow to it, and hence we don't stop doing it. I remember 5-6 years back when I started doing some volunteering work, I used to run around places and do like small work here and there in kitchen, cleaning and things like that. And that movement, that spending of energy for selfless things, nothing for me, but I didn't have that knowledge that I'm doing this for Krishna, but just because everybody was doing it, I was helping as well. But when you engage yourself, when you engage your energy in something like this selfless, Krishna is so kind that he purifies your heart. And then slowly what happens is, you start developing a taste where you start you want to listen more about him. So I was not interested in chanting or reading Bhagavad Gita, but slowly, by doing service, by serving Krishna, by serving here, either in kitchen or somewhere else, slowly the impurities, they started going, and slowly there was a taste which started developing that maybe let me just do a little bit of chanting, maybe a little bit of reading. So slowly that taste starts developing. So one is in mode of ignorance, and when we start doing services, what happens is our heart starts becoming cleansed, and then the attraction towards mode of goodness increases. So if you give somebody pizza or a fruit, they might pick pizza depending on what nature they are in. But if they, over the time, if you start listening to this, then the taste and the choices, they change. Why do they change? Because Krishna is cleansing the heart. He's cleansing the heart because of the service which we are rendering in the process. And then later, Krishna talks about, later in the chapter around verse 22, Krishna talks about charity in modes as well. So the charity which is done without any expectation to a worthy person, such charity is in mode of goodness. A charity which is done with no expectation, with some expectations, and there is an intention. There is some intention that if I give this, I should get that. No, there is a business between you and the Lord. That such charity is in mode of passion. Or sometimes the charity is also done grudgingly, like somebody is asking for donation, okay, take this donation. Like it's not given with full heart, it is given grudgingly. So that as well is charity in mode of passion. Or sometimes people give charity, they give donation, and later on they think, oh, why did I give? Why did I put that money into charity? That as well is in mode of passion, and such things are not received by the Lord in the same way as Lord receives the things which are given in mode of goodness. Then there is charity in mode of ignorance, which means the charity which is given at improper place, improper time, to an unworthy person, and also to a worthy person, but without respect. If it is given without respect to a worthy person, such charity as well is charity in mode of ignorance, Krishna says. So this is around verse 22. And then later on, between verse 23 and 27, we understand there are so many rules. So mode of ignorance, passion, goodness, cleanliness, simplicity, so many things. I mean, I am imperfect. And I have so many defects in me, and there's so many shortcomings. How do I get myself around it, and how do I get over these shortcomings? So Krishna here in these verses gives a tool to us, and he says that chanting the holy names of Lord will help to overcome these shortcomings. So because these modes are very strong. So even if we might be in certain mode, but the energies, the environment, it is so strong that we might fall into any of the lower modes. Because the way the modes work, they are always falling down. So if you want to be in mode of goodness, you have to work hard to keep it, to sustain it. It's like a quicksand. It's always falling down. So it's very easy. So you see, it's very easy to get bad habits. Not getting up early in the morning is not a big deal. It's okay, just keep sleeping, and that's easy. But getting up early in the morning, or maybe going for a walk, or making that gym trip that morning is so difficult, because anything which is in mode of goodness needs hard work. You have to work hard to keep it. But the other modes, you can easily fall down. And that's why Krishna says that chanting the holy name, so anytime you chant the holy name, then your defects or your shortcomings will be overcome. And in this particular verse, Krishna talks about a particular mantra which is Om Tat Sat. He says Om Tat Sat. So what do we mean by Om Tat Sat? Which means I agree. What do I agree to? I agree that whatever I have done, this charity, this sacrifice, this austerity, this service, I offer everything to you. I do not want any credit for this. And this, it's very difficult for person in passion to say this. I have done this, I want credit for this, I want the benefit, like I can't give it up. So the person who is in mode of passion or ignorance, they wouldn't say Om Tat Sat. They would say, no, whatever I have done charity, let me get the benefit of that charity. So Om Tat Sat means whatever I have done, my being, my energy, everything is for you. I don't want anything. And then Lord takes over. And then Lord gives us more than we deserve, really. So there's one small story which I can share over here. Once there was a king, and he decided that he just wanted to see how his kingdom is doing. And he disguised himself as a simple man, and he went into the kingdom in the marketplace. And he was going around, and he was just analyzing how things are going in his kingdom. And one particular personality, they said that, oh, I want to meet a king, I want to see king. And this person who is our king, dressed in a simple man's clothes, he overheard that, and he said to this person that I can take you to king, I know him. Because he was king himself. So I can take you to the king. I know him. So he said, oh, really, you can? Yes, have faith in me. He said, have faith in me, I will take you to the king. So but he put one condition. But what you have to do is, I will blindfold you, and then you have to hold on to my hand, and you have to have faith in me, and I will take you to the king. So this is our king saying to this person. And then he blindfolded him. The person agreed. And then the king allowed him to hold his hand. And then he took him from marketplace, through the routes, into the kingdom. And when he reached the kingdom, the king said that just wait here for some time, and I'll send the king for you. And then he went inside, changed his clothes, and came out. And then there was king, and he removed his blindfold. And then he was like, oh my God, it's the same person. It's the king himself. So what do we understand from this story, and what is the analogy behind is this? The holy name, the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is Krishna himself. This is Krishna himself. He is disguised as this king is disguised as a simple man. And you were like, okay, this holy name, he's Krishna himself. I don't believe it. But when you chant, and when you are calling Krishna, using this name, he is Krishna himself. And then if you have that faith and you stick to this mantra, then over the time, all our shortcomings which are mentioned over here, all our defects are overcome, and we see the king himself, we see Krishna himself like that. So that's the power of holy name which Krishna gives in this verse. And then later on he moves on to, so Om Tat Sat. So Sat means eternal. And then the question comes, okay, if Sat is eternal, so what is Asat? What is that which is not eternal? So that is our verse, which is 17.28. Let us read the translation again. Okay, let's read the translation again. Anything done as sacrifice, charity, or penance without faith in Supreme, O son of Pritha, is impermanent. It is called Asat and is useless both in this life and in next. Radha Gokulananda ki, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah, so we come to this last verse of this particular chapter where Krishna is explaining what is Asat, what is that which is not eternal. So that which is done, any sacrifice, charity or penance, which is done without any faith in Supreme Lord, that is impermanent. That is impermanent. So we would pray, we would work hard to build a house, and can we take it to the next life? No. So the last words are, it is useless both in this life and in next. So it is, and why does it say useless? You would think, okay, I worked hard for this particular exam because of which I got a job and now I am earning money because of that. So why is it useless? It's not useless. I have got some use out of it, isn't it? So here, Srila Prabhupada is talking about the ultimate benefit. The ultimate benefit is that we are parts and parcels of Krishna and we have to go back from here. When we go to a holiday, we don't set up in the hotel where we stay. We don't set up our kitchen or do renovation, change the curtains. We don't we? Because we know that this is temporary. I have to go back to the house from where I have came. But this is what we are doing actually. We are so much settled here that we forget the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to go back to Krishna. And that is the ultimate goal which Srila Prabhupada is again and again repeating in every time in even almost all the verses where Srila Prabhupada is saying that whatever we do which is not aligned with the goal. So our goal is to go back to Krishna. So when that goal is set, whatever we do in the life, so we have family, we do job, we have so many responsibilities. Like I'm a mother, I'm an employee, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter. So whatever duties I do in this life, they are aligned with this centralized goal. So whatever I do, they all take me towards this goal, not take me away from the goal. So any action, any moment, any action or any decision we take, we ask ourselves, is this decision in alignment with my ultimate goal? Is it going to take me back or is it going to hold me back? Yeah. So holding me back means you come again. You come again. So death is what? Death is not an end. Death is just change of dress. So we go home and then we come, change and come again. Like that. So death is just change of dress. So which means that we have not learned a lesson. And then we come again. Again birth. Again growing up. Again death. Again. So we keep on doing this. We will keep on doing this again and again until we have understood the ultimate goal that I have to go back. This is not my home. This is possibly not even holiday. This is a prison. And I have to go back to my home, which is Krishna's house. And I have to be there in the spiritual world with him. And I have service to do. We all have a unique service. And only we can do that particular service for Krishna. So the spiritual world is 3/4. And this material world is just 1/4. So you can imagine the scale of spiritual world, the how big it would be, and how many souls are over there. And we are some few who have been naughty, and that's why we are here. So we have to go back because we have some duties over there which we have to continue doing when we go back over there. So we have to have that goal. We have to have that love for Krishna, that Krishna, please take me. Look, I'm this fool. I don't understand. I keep on getting distracted. In this world is so attractive, and I keep on getting distracted by things which don't mean anything, and I get, I lose my track. Can you please help me to come back to you? Please help me to create some love for your holy name. And the holy name is what Krishna has given us in this life, in this material world, using which we can go back to him. So, so this is really what Srila Prabhupada is explaining here. I will read this one sentence here. I have some time. Without such faith. So, what Srila Prabhupada is explaining is that whatever we do without faith is useless. Without faith in whom? Without faith in Krishna or the Supreme Lord is useless. Without such faith or without proper guidance. So two things Srila Prabhupada is explaining here: faith and proper guidance. So how would, because our mind is so whimsical. It's like it can direct you anywhere. In the morning, have you experienced this? When you snooze that alarm, it is giving you such nice and like proper scientific reasons of how you should sleep more. Isn't it? When you are it just goes on and you want to snooze it, and it gives you all the reasons. Oh, you slept last night late. Oh, you are tired. You can sleep for some more time. Take a rest. Otherwise, you will be weak over the day, and then you sleep. And then when you get up, and then it again tells you, the same mind which had convinced you in the morning that you should sleep more and snooze, the same mind will tell you, you are such a foolish person. You are so fool. You kept sleeping, whether you should be getting up and you should be doing your things. So mind is very, you should not trust your mind. It is very dangerous. So when we don't have proper guidance, when we don't have a spiritual master, our mind takes us places, and it takes us to darker places where we don't want to go. That's why, along with a strong faith in Shri Krishna, we also have to have a proper guidance, so that we are guided on this route towards Krishna. Yeah. So even to go anywhere, we need our Google Maps, isn't it? So in life, when we want to go towards the ultimate destination, Krishna, don't we need a spiritual master? We have to ask ourselves, isn't it? We need a spiritual master, and without that, it is impossible to reach Krishna. It's not possible. You see that, say for example, you want to see King Charles. Is it possible that you just walk in? No, you have to have some contacts. You have to have somebody who will tell you, you know what, he's coming to this charity here, and then let's go there, and somehow we will see you. There has to be something. There has to be some person like Srila Prabhupada who is taking us to Lord Krishna. That's why you would see that when devotees come inside, they first go and bow down to Guru. They first go and bow down to the teacher, because this is the personality who have shown us who Krishna is. Otherwise, what knowledge we would have? All these books, all these wonderful things which Srila Prabhupada has written for us, how would we know about this? Because he has written it, that's why we are learning. So first when we come, we offer our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, and then we go to Krishna. And then when we go to Krishna, Krishna also likes it. Krishna also likes it, because then he sees, oh, you have bowed down to my pure devotee, now I like you as well. And I would give one example over here, and then maybe we can quickly close. Lord Ram, you would remember there is this pastime with Bali Maharaj. Yeah? So, not Bali Maharaj, sorry, with Vali. So, Vali... so Lord Ram said to Vali, you go and challenge to Sugriv, that you go and challenge Vali and call him for the fight, and I will shoot him from behind. So this Lord Ram said. But previously what had happened is that when Sugriv welcomed Lord Ram, he didn't give any position to sit to Lakshman. So Lakshman was not, so Lakshman here is Guru Tattva. He represents Guru Tattva. So Lakshman was not welcomed, or Lakshman was not respected because as a Guru Tattva, and he just was welcoming or talking to Lord Ram. And because of this particular thing, you would remember that in that particular pastime of Lord Ram, first time he had a lot of beating by Vali. So Sugriv got beaten by Vali, and then second time after that, Lord Ram actually killed the Vali. And that's why did this happen? Do you think it is Lord Ram? Wouldn't he know who is Vali and who is Sugriv? He's Lord himself. It is because of this. It is because of this reason, because he had disrespected the Guru Tattva. He had disrespected Lakshman at that moment, and because of that reason, he had to go through that karma of getting beaten by Vali in that episode. Yes, so I'm just seeing what else we have to discuss over here before we close. I think so. We are good. Any questions? Yeah, one more thing before, so I'm so sorry. One more thing. So we spoke about two things which are required. We spoke about faith, and then we spoke about, again, faith in whom? Faith in Supreme Lord, and then proper guidance, which is Guru himself. And then what we said was that the progress on the spiritual path can happen gradually, or it can happen direct. Yeah. So what would you prefer? Would you prefer a quick reaching to the Lord, or you want a slow process? Because life is very uncertain. You don't know when you will get a call and go back, and you have to change your address. Yes. So the gradual process, we are not quite sure when and how we will reach, which is moving from mode of ignorance to mode of passion to mode of goodness. That is a long process. Yeah, that process will take a long time. What we have to do is we have to take an elevator, which is the direct process, and direct process is through Guru. Direct process is through Guru, which is Bhakti Marg, and that's why when I explained at the initial, we look at Bhagavad Gita as a sandwich where we have Karma Yoga, we have Jnana Yoga, and then in middle we have Bhakti Yoga. And the entire Bhagavad Gita, because Srila Prabhupada, when he wrote Bhagavad Gita, he was 70 years old. So he has written Bhagavad Gita with an understanding of what is prime importance, what is the most important thing. The most important thing is Bhakti. The most important thing is devotional service. So he has translated Bhakti as devotional service. Devotional service, not devotional activities. What we do as part of devotion is devotional activities, lighting a diya or doing something in front of God or doing some regular ritualistic thing. That is not active, that is an activity. But what we have to do is we have to do devotional service. We have to come closer to Lord when we are performing this service towards the Lord. So that is something which Srila Prabhupada has again and again mentioned in all the verses throughout, even if it is Karma Yoga, even if it is Jnana Yoga, he has mentioned importance of Bhakti. So the centralized theme is the Bhakti is the most important thing which will allow us to go closer to Krishna. Okay, so I think we are over time, and we have Aarti now, 7 o'clock. So if anybody has any questions, we can see if we can answer them. Anyone? No? Okay, thank you so much everyone for joining. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Vandeham Sri Guru